Hi guys, welcome to another video on May in Bloom. I am May and I talk about all things holistic, slow and intentional sovereign living. Thank you so much for being here, and also first of all I'd like to say thank you for 4,000 subscribers. I'm very touched by the fact that 4,000 strangers see my content and thought I would like to subscribe to a random woman living her random life. I think it's really fitting because today I want to share a bit about a life update on what's been going on my corner of the world. I have kind of touched upon it here and there, but like now I'm finally in a place where I can sit down and have a proper talk with you guys. I'd have loved to make this video outside. By the time I get off work and I need to film, the light is not as great outside, and today I don't have my camera, so I was like, let's just have a chill indoor talk with the good old iPad. Why not? Always when I film like on either my computer or my iPad, it gives me like vintage YouTube vibes when that's all you needed, you know? So I hope you have something to drink. I hope you're settling or cleaning or unwinding and you can have a little catch up with me about what's been going on in my life. Okay, so the biggest thing that I wanted to share with you guys, it's been in the making for years, but it's finally here and finally happening, and that's basically like where I'm recording this from. I am the owner of a little house on wheels, aka a caravan. I've had this dream for the longest. Before, actually, we wanted to maybe get like a van, but then we realized like which is so thankful, it was my partner's idea. We actually discussed that it would be better actually with a caravan because of our long-term goals, right? And you know, like I always tell you guys about my long-term goals here. I want to have one day like a piece of land, like try to build a little cute home, something sustainable. So having this mini home that for now we can use to live in and travel in, which is another part I'll get into later, makes it great for when we will finally like settle somewhere and have a home while we're building a home, rather than like having a van and then not having a separate vehicle if you need to do other stuff. So we decided to go for that combo, and it was my job to find a home, and I found this vintage caravan in Denmark that had been recently renovated, so it's in the best condition we could get for the budget, for the time strained, and also for all the things we wanted, you know, like things that are very important for me and for both of us, like having a room that I can close fully, having a bathroom, a toilet, like having a kitchen, a sitting place. But I will show you the caravan itself at a later point. But this has been like such a dream come true, because this has been like a dream of mine for a long time. Slow traveling, seeing the world in a different way, and then getting to do that of course with my partner, which is another big news, is that now I'm no longer long distance after 4.5 years. In August of this year, we finally, like, she drove all the way from France with the car to Copenhagen. So we met there because that's where I got the caravan. We wanted also a Nordic caravan, or a caravan made in the north, because we wanted better insulation, which this one definitely has. Just it's better to have it than not to have it. But yeah, like that was a whole journey by itself, and maybe like when I do a little tour of the caravan I will tell you more about that. But it was an exciting and also the biggest thing that I've ever been able like to purchase in one go for myself. As many of you know, I've lived a bit everywhere, and I have often like maybe lived in people's mostly houses, or I had a little studio at one point, or renting houses in like a shared apartment with other professionals. So this has been a long dream of mine, like just having a little house of my own with my own keys, and knowing that whoever comes here, like that energy is something that I've agreed to, that it's something that I want in my life as well. And then getting to share this experience with my partner It's been like a magical experience like so far. So what we've been doing is, the plan has been, so far we've been on the road for 2.5 months almost. We started, like, of course, in Denmark. We went a bit like north in Denmark, and then we went south, and then we went through Germany, spent a month there, and now we're in Austria. And then we're gonna continue traveling a bit more south. But guys, like, just, it's so surreal. It's so surreal because for a long time, as I've said, like this, and this is like a testament to the things I also share with you guys, or even in my holistic sessions, that making sure that your dreams are sustainable for you, like not only what you want, but the way you want to get there and who you want to be while you get there. And I definitely felt like this one was that for us. It's been such an easeful process and exciting at every angle, and we've been like determined from the beginning. Like, we spent months researching like what we wanted, what we needed to be mindful of, like for both our needs, like for me, someone who's working full-time remotely, but also like when I have sessions with clients, like making sure I have a private space to have that, and then like also like the things we needed. Luckily, we both are not big, we don't have a lot of things. My partner has because she's a musician and a sound therapist, and she needs a lot more things to do her work than I do, but we didn't have a lot of things, and we were like very happy to see how our little lives could be combined in such a small space. But like being here from the drawing table, from the idea, from the discussions, and then also like getting here. You guys have seen me on my journey, like when I was in Portugal, moving to Portugal, which was a big dream of mine. But then like after Portugal, and when I lost my sister, and then I started like reevaluating my whole life about, okay, how do I continue my journey of self-liberation? And then I was like, okay, I need to gain some skills. I need to make sure that I can get skills I can use different places. But more than that, I wanted, most importantly, to never have to go back into an office, and also make money that I could make anywhere. And so the last few months after I moved to Barcelona to do work with Google Ads, and then like being able to create a profile that then got me this job that I have, but a job that does allow me to travel, and a job where my boss knows I'm traveling and is actually quite intrigued, and he keeps saying, oh, I'm so jealous, like if it was another moment in my life, that's what I'll be doing. So it feels like all very aligned and like exactly what I wanted, and that is such a beautiful feeling to be in. Like, I had a dream, I took the steps, it was a long journey, but now here I am. It's like a continuous affirmation of that don't, wherever you're going, even if it seems far away, like break it down into small pieces, but enjoy each part of the pieces. I enjoyed being in Lisbon. I enjoyed moving to Barcelona, and I stopped my job in Barcelona, and then I started putting my portfolio together, and then like trying to get a new place to work, but also envisioning this new life I had. Actually, like, I was hoping for something part-time, and also even something more freelance, but I got something that's full-time, not freelance. But I also saw the benefit of that. It had everything else I wanted, that I've said before. Like, I wanted something that was more related to my studies, something also that, like, I work within diversity, equity, and inclusion, so that's a field that in my 2 channels I already talk about, that is important to me in different ways. I didn't know if I wanted to do full-time, and I was really like looking forward to something that didn't take as much time, but being able to do it remote, and being able to sustain ourselves on the road without having too much stress, beyond, of course, like having the 9-to-5, but it's still like really great. And also like it gives us the opportunity to save up while we're still looking for more grounded home for the future. So yeah, that's like where I am. Like, we've been traveling, living mostly in places that are engulfed in nature, and which has been something I've been craving, living in bigger cities the last few years. Like, I always was like, oh my goodness, I can't wait to be more in nature. I can't wait to be more in nature. And that was like, before, that was my goal for like when we settle down and have a piece of land and have like a little house. But it's wonderful to be able to get there while already living like that, and also like to experience like life away from the city. Like, how do we feel about it? How far is too far? How remote is too remote? Especially with my work, like it's also like being able to be connected to Wi-Fi, like making sure you have service wherever you are. Like there's all these things that are also great for us to understand when we will settle down somewhere, and also making our little house as self-sustainable as possible. So like investing in the future for solar panels, and a better battery, and like better Wi-Fi routers, and like there's all these things that I know that we are doing now, but then they'll make the next phase of our project easier if that's where we go. I'm also like becoming more open-minded to it's good to have plans and ideas, but also letting life surprise you with something maybe you didn't expect that you might have liked just as much. But yeah, like that is the biggest update I can give you. Like I'm so proud of myself. Like I'm so happy to feel like I have a home. Like it's not a conventional home, but it's a home, and it's like also like to feel like you own it fully. Like there's no like, it's just, I just need a place to put it, and then we have a house, and that feels so good. And better than that it's a house that travels with us. So whenever I change environment, our bed, our cutlery, our pots, it's the same. So there's that feeling of stability and grounding that you don't have when you move a lot or when you're a bit more nomadic, which is something I also love. But having your home with you wherever you go, like now we're in Austria, but the views are different than they were in Germany or they were in Denmark. But at the same time, the inside is the same. It's the same home, right? What else? So beyond that, it's been also really nice to finally be in the same space as my partner after 4.5 years of just visiting each other. Like she's always been in France, and then I've been like moving around, so she would visit me in different places. But that was also such a great experience to have, because we've gotten to travel in different countries, and it's also the reason why when we are thinking about where we want to settle, we have some countries in common, because there are places that we've both been together, and we've thought about how lovely it would be to build a little life there. Maybe not even forever, but like for a good portion of life, the next chapter of our lives. So it's been also really nice to continue traveling, but in a totally different way. I'd also say that I also don't feel like it's, because everything else is so new, like traveling and moving around with a caravan, and at the same time like living with my partner for the first time, like full time in my whole life, and it's just the two of us. Like just like I feel like a proper grown up, like this, from the girl I was when I started this channel. I was like finishing my master degree, and now several years later, like I am in my early 30s, almost mid 30s, and life is much different than I had imagined it. But it's still beautiful to have that feeling that there's still wonders that you can experience, and there's still beautiful things that you can make come true for yourself. And it's just also very motivating, like for not only like to enjoy where we are, because like this is our reality for now and for a few more months, but also knowing that I believe that I can, with the same strategy, like make the next things I want for my life happen. Always slow and steady, but getting there nonetheless, and I love that. I love that for me. So yeah, like those are the two main updates, like being on the road, getting a little tiny home, finally not being long distance anymore, enjoying like building a life with someone, and enjoying like sharing a space with someone, like figuring out our own cozy routines, our own ways of contributing to our community that is the two of us, cooking together, going on trips, and because when we park somewhere, when we travel, we might leave like close to a place, and then we usually explore that area. For example, like now we are outside of Vienna in another little city called St. Pölten, and like being able to go to those places and explore those places, but then like come back home to our little home Right now we're currently camping at a family-owned farm in like the middle of some valleys. Like there's valleys on all sides. It's really cute. I hope I'll show you some footage later on. And it's really quiet. Like we have cows and sheep next to us, and when we arrived it just seemed so idyllic. Like it seemed so beautiful. It seemed so just exactly what I've been craving for years to be close to. Of course, like living in nature and living this way also has its downfall. I never want to portray a life of perfection and everything is shining. There's also other things that are downfalls to this kind of life. Like number one, because we live on a farm, and it's a farm that is a small farm. There's a lot of flies, and when we lived by the river and the lake, we had a lot of mosquitoes and different insects. That's just a little part of it. There are cons, but honestly I can't think of many because I'm just so happy. I can't think of too many cons right now because the majority of things I would say are pretty doable and livable with. Yeah. Oh, we have to like empty, this is TMI maybe, like we have a bathroom, and when you live in a caravan, guys, you have to if you opt for one with a bathroom. We even thought about getting like a dry bathroom, but maybe that will be better when we've settled. And actually now we have like a chemical bathroom, so being able to empty the bathroom, the toilet, and then being able to refill water, take away water, there's a lot of chores that you're not used to, but that are also not overwhelming because, like I say, the place is so small that even the daily chores are doable because it's a small space. Like you can manage, and I love that. Sometimes we're sitting here and we're just like, we have everything we need, like everything you need. Like there's nothing I'm lacking in this space. I'm like, oh, I wish I had more. No, we have enough light. We have like a lot of windows everywhere. We have a comfortable bedroom. We have a comfortable sitting room, a comfortable kitchen. Like just, and everything is at the same time very small and compact, but perfect for two people. Like just also having that sense of enough. Like we have enough, you know. And also it makes us shop differently, get things differently, because you're always thinking about the space. That's also something that's been really important, that we don't overcrowd it and fill up every single space that we have just because we have space. So living a bit more minimal and getting things that are essential and useful and bring value, instead of like just filling up everything because you have a lot of space. So that's been really interesting to get used to and live like that way. But all in all, it's a beautiful dream that I get to experience, and I hope I get to share with you guys as well. I'm not saying that this is gonna turn into a travel channel, but just like when I went to Portugal, or when I went to Spain, or when I've been abroad, like I would like to share parts of this life with you guys. Also because I don't have as much time between the job, enjoying where I am, my holistic sessions, and my own other projects. I don't have as much time to create content, even though I do love doing that as well. But it feels more like things I squeeze in. And I don't want to feel like that, like I'm constantly like jumping from one thing to the other, because I also not only want to travel slowly, I like the feeling of living slowly. And I've had to make compromises between the things I really want to do and the things I actually can do. An ongoing theme here that I always talk about. But I think I'm at a place where I'm a bit more at peace with that, and trying to not beat myself up when I can't post when I wanted to post, or when I take longer time than usual, specifically on this channel. God save my other channel, because I don't have even less time for that one, even though it's still like a passion channel of mine. But who knows, life will continue to evolve, and time will come for other things, I guess, or I'll need to spend less time on other things. But for now, I feel like it's the best I can do. But I really wanted to share this one with you guys, and I hope I get to share at least this experience with you. And also just as a queer African woman, like living this life. And oftentimes when we travel, like we are the biggest diversity group ever, like in color, in like how we look, but also like in our coupling. So I know this is not a life where I see a lot of people like us, but also showcasing that it's also accessible to people like us. And we didn't like spend a big budget to make it happen. Like when I've shared with my friends and people around me, they're like, oh my god, like it's such a big dream, I wish I could do that. Like, and then like for me, I feel like it's so accessible, like as in like, of course, like there were steps, intentional steps to get here, but the fact that if I can do it, I feel like a lot of people can do it, because it's about building those things that you would need, how you want to live. There's even other ways you can do it without maybe like having a full-time job, where you can do like, that was another option, because we really wanted to do this, and we're like, the other option was to do like workaways, because we also want to learn a lot about ecological ways of living, sustainable ways of living, and that was a great way to do that. Like you go, you volunteer, you get a place to park, you get food, and then you learn skills like by helping people in projects. And that's something that it's a pity we can't do as much, because I can't do my full-time job and do that as well. But at the same time, we might maybe carve some time out, because my partner has more time to do it than I do. So maybe if that places that would accept us, even though I can't work, then it would be great, because that's another thing that we wanted to do. So if you maybe don't have the income to sustain you on the road, there are other ways where you can move about, where of course you still need money for fuel and moving around, maybe food and other stuff, but there's ways to make it more economical. And just like when we saw our budget for the caravan and the car, because my partner got the car, I got the caravan, and because she's the driver, I don't drive, so it was better she got the car in France and I could get the caravan where I was, because also I thought that Nordic caravans were just usually in better condition. I don't know if that's just a me thing, it's what do you call it, like a judgment thing, but when I looked around, I saw that the ones that I found in the north, especially in Denmark and Germany, mostly in Denmark, maybe even some in Holland, they were just in better condition, and they had the things I wanted, and they were cute as well. Like, because if I'm gonna live in a place, gonna pay for a little home, I want it to still be cute. So we can't have it any other way, like come on. But all of that to say, guys, that thank you for being with me on this journey and seeing me evolve. Like, let me know if you're one of my oldest subscribers, how long you've been here. If you've been here from the days I was still in Denmark to the days I went to Brazil, like you guys will be the OGs. But it's beautiful to see that life continues to evolve, and it's beautiful to document this for myself as well, and to see each part of the journey, and to also use this as a future reference that, man, you can do anything. Like, you can do anything you put your mind to. You can find a way. You can make shit happen. You know, if ever I was in doubt, because that happens. Because that happens. But now living in this reality, I'm like, wow, that was once a dream, and now you are slow traveling through Europe in beautiful places with your partner. You're healthy, you're good, you're stable. It's a blessing, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. The only thing, guys, is whenever I have moments like this, like great accomplishments or great dreams come through, I always think about my late sister. Like, I can't help but think about her, because she would be the person I would have loved the most in the whole world to share this with, because I know she would have loved it. You know, she would have been like, yeah, I'm coming, I'm going to live with you. I would have to talk to my partner about that, but like, and I would be like, yeah, come, let's go, or like, come take a break and we travel a bit. Like, she would be so on board. And that's one of the things I think I miss the most, because I think she was also more adventurous than my other siblings. So she would have loved this. She would have loved that I can do this, and I would have loved to share this with her, you know, and share my little home with her, because for a long time I was living more in her home, right? Like, whenever I'd come back to Denmark, she never got to see my little home, at least my first version of a home. I mean, no, this is my home. I'm not gonna downplay that. This is my my home, even though like it's a caravan on wheels. Like, I'm just so happy, and I wish I could have shared that with her, but I have a feeling she's looking from above and she's like, I see you did that damn thing. And I'm like, yeah, I did it, I wish you were here. And that also just keeps inspiring me, like, live your best life, like live your fucking best life, guys. Because you never know when your time is up. And I just love continuously feeling like if my time was to go, if it was time for me to sayonara out of here, I would always feel like I was on the right path, like I was doing what I wanted to do. I was living with as much integrity for myself as I could, and in as much alignment with myself as I could. And that is by itself such a freeing thing to feel, and an allowing thing to feel, because you know you're good and you know that you are living a life that feels honest to you. And it doesn't mean that everything is always rosy and everything is always perfect, but knowing that you are in alignment with even just where you want to go, and what you're doing makes sense to where you want to go in life, or who you want to be, or how you want to be in life. It's amazing, right? I look forward to getting to share this with you guys, and I share parts of it at least with you guys, and taking you along the road. But I hope more than anything I get to leave you guys with the reminder that you can also do the things you want to do in life, and you can make things happen that are important for you to experience during this one miraculous existence of your life. And don't get disheartened by the road, because there were some parts even in my own journey that were very depressing and discouraging, but I just kept going. And I would always say, like, where do you want to go? Where do you want to be? How do you want to live your life? Is this taking you there? Like, keep going, keep going. I said no to opportunities that maybe in the moment would have been comfortable, but like I knew that's not where I want to go. That's not what I need for the next step. It's not that it's an easy experience, but you can have ease of mind knowing that even in the hardships, it's leading you to where you want to go, and it's leading you to what you want to experience or who you want to be, right? Anyway, that's all I wanted to share with you guys. A celebration of and a capsule of this moment in life where I feel so much gratitude, and I feel so capable, and I feel like so proud of myself, and I can't wait to see what else life has in store, basically. So thank you for watching, if you've watched this far. And yes, do tell me how long you've been with me on my journey, like how far back you remember, because oh my goodness, we've been through some things on this channel, or I've shared some things with you guys on this channel, transformations, like from my full straight life, times when I had my afro hair, times where like I've done, even though like it's been just a few years, so much has happened. I can't imagine the same amount of time what else will happen, you know? But I hope only like better, brighter things. And I wish the same for you guys, my little strangers on the other side of this channel, always watching me. And I send you lots of love and lots of care, and I hope that life finds you blooming wherever you're planted, and that you don't lose your blooming self even in times of winter, but you allow it, because it's where you let go, where you re-nourish yourself, redirect, reflect, re-implement. But eventually everything leads to your higher self and your higher ease and your higher blessings. And I hope that you're always receiving life with open arms and glee and curiosity, because it's so beautiful and there's so much to experience. Despite all the shitty things going on, there's a lot of beauty as well, if you want to find it, if you want to see it, if you want to focus on it. And I say that as a fellow warrior. So it's not because that's so easy for me, but like I see it all the time. And I look forward to the other videos I want to share with you, like the first few travels, getting the other videos I want to share with you on how we got here and where we are, where we've been, and yeah, they'll come slow and steady. But for now, just a little life update. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Take good care.